Welcome to the weekly report on the crypto market, where every day feels exactly the same.
Wake up, ChatGPT. Give me the top 3 mews of the week.
Okay, 1. Shiro has officially reached $1. 2. A new creative bounty mission has gone live. 3. The community hit a new all-time high in holders this week.
Perfect. Let's start the show.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Playing a little pot lead in while I'm getting the raid going. 1 second. If my sound doesn't sound so good, hopefully it sounds good on the recording, because I hear Hawk is struggling over there. Got me on the run. Now I'm back in the pull-up room waiting on the outcome. 3 Hawks. No in-bomb. Sorry. So I can rap every word to these songs, but then I have to worry about dropping the wrong words. So I'm yeah, I grew up listening to Tupac like non-stop. Think I got a black beam. My dream is to own scene like fuzzy. Okay, let's pause that because it's skipping a little bit. Good morning, happy Sunday. Welcome to the Mew. It's just me today. You know, it's funny. I call him Little Tony because we have another Tony, but you call him Toasty Tony. But Tony is not going to be here today. He's actually finishing up a job before the trivia. So he's going to be running the trivia in just about an hour from now. And what else is funny is that this weekly Mew is the only time I see myself on the camera or really look at myself. You know, I don't even look myself in the mirror very much. And I can tell that I got some work from home hair going. You can see I haven't had a haircut in a little bit. But yeah, it's a little shaggy, but yeah, we're doing good over here. Yeah. So happy Sunday, happy football Sunday. We had in America, we actually, you know, football Sunday usually starts a little later. Our NFL Sunday, not football. And today there was a game in London, so I woke up early and was watching the London game a little bit, and it's a good Sunday. Actually, this is the first Sunday in about a month where I don't actually have to do some work on my real life work, which is really nice because things have been really busy on my side. So if you've noticed a little bit of lack of presence from my end, it's not because I want to be elsewhere. It's because we are working on something at my job and have a big RFP. And so what I do is I work data analytics, and I'm putting together a lot of stuff for an RFP with the state. So it's been a busy time. I'm putting in crazy hours, and basically, to get that done, I have to like put my phone down and leave it, because I get distracted very easily, especially when I pick up my phone and I see Shiro, and then I start raiding, or I start, you know, doing things. I start checking DMs, and then all of a sudden, 2 hours have gone by and I haven't done any work. So that's not good, and I can't do that this month, where normally my job allows that. So I have to make do for this little bit over a month. It's about 5 weeks of just hard, steady work, but it pays off in the end, because then, on the other times I can kind of do that, where I have hours during my work day where I can, focus on crypto and have fun and enjoy the community, and I'm definitely missing that. So that's my spiel. Not put a focus on me at all, but yeah, that's what's going on in my world right now. So what's going on in Shiro world? What is going on in Shiro world? Let's talk about the market, actually, first off. Last night, Saturday night, it was a Saturday night, we hit a new all-time high for Bitcoin. I think we hit just over $125,000 of Bitcoin. That's wild. That is wild. And it happened on a Saturday night, on a weekend, right, where things are usually slower. We saw like this crazy candle out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, we are at all-time highs. And I saw there's one degen trader, one of the top like Japanese traders that streams, had a huge short liquidated last night. I saw some people talking about it, but they were it was like at 124,000, and they were over $1 million loss, unrecognized loss in this short, and it was going to liquidate at 125,000, and I think it just hit enough to liquidate that short. So yeah, it's definitely not a shorting market. Not on the mains, right? Not on your main coins, at least. It's definitely a time where I would be scared to short anything right now, unless I'm doing it just day trading, which where you're constantly paying attention, because I think that things are really set up for the end of the year. October through December really should be really good months for the overall crypto market. And when I say overall crypto market, I'm still talking about your major coins. We really aren't even seeing, other than your major altcoins, we're not seeing a ton of volume come in yet, other than the BNB, BSC crime stuff that's happening, where basically CZ is tweeting out some things and pushing things up like crazy. So we've seen some trends happening, and I think that's a good thing to talk about on this call, because really I think that talking trends, talking what's happening, and then really using that to gauge our market and what we're pushing and what we're doing. It's a constant focus, and it's something you have to constantly be thinking about and working on. Let me check my comments to make sure I'm coming through okay. Do I sound good, everyone? I don't see any complaints about the sound. So if I sound choppy, let me know. I'll join from the phone. But, otherwise, I'm going back on the spiel. So what we have is majors are hitting all-time high. We had Bitcoin run up. We've had ETH hit 4,000 and really get close to 5,000. We've seen a great recovery on Solana. What is that doing to the overall market, right? We're really not seeing a huge influx yet of new traders. And usually that happens at the time of max euphoria on these majors, right? And max euphoria isn't happening when it just touches all-time high, right? It's not that time where people are like, ooh, I need to get into crypto. It's when people are like, ooh, I can make 100x on these. I can come in and I can make money here. And I think that right now, what we're seeing is a really big shift. While we have the cycles in the crypto market, we're seeing a shift of these cycles because of the inflation of the number of coins that are happening, the number of crimes that are happening, the number of people that are getting liquidated. You know, we have new users coming into crypto and then they lose all their money really fast. And we're not giving people an opportunity to really learn crypto before, you know, they're basically just getting wiped in scams and rugs and pump fund projects. And, you know, it's kind of crazy because I was actually talking to a friend about this morning, and BNB, BSC is having this huge run up in volume right now. Right now, they're the #1 volume of all chains, mainly due to after there's a meme coin that you know hit a couple 100 million that CZ's been pushing. There's another one that's like insane that it's even run up because it's got 10% tax both ways, and it's sitting at like 80 million, and you know, Binance Alpha listed it, and people are, it's going to get listed on Binance, but you're paying 20% just to buy in, right? Like it's 10% buy in, but if you cash out, it's 20%. So you have to make 20% just to break even, and it's crazy, right? Like this is it reminds me of the BNB days of about 4 years ago, where that was everyone was, right? With SafeMoon and Everrise and all these other coins, that's where everyone was. But people talk about Solana now and how people can't hold and how, you know, people just rug projects constantly. Where do you think that started? It started on BNB. Like BNB was the #1 crime chain in the whole world, right? Like I've been scammed so many times off of BNB coins, and you know, like it's crazy because on Solana, like, you know, they're just, you know, you have Pump Fund, you have all these launch pads that people use. Like you don't really get rugged or honeypotted anymore. You know, like people do bundle and then they kill the coin. But to go back to BNB, like now you have to worry about honeypots again. You have to worry about contracts that are scams, and you have to worry about all these other things that you know, didn't work before. And then you have PanQuickCake Swap, which is probably the worst DEX I've ever used in my whole life. Like the craziest thing that DEX, after this many years, is still like the top one on this chain is insane. So, not to say anything bad about BNB because they've done things right? Like they know how to market. I have to say, CZ and those crew, they do know how to bring volume, and they do know how to, you know, turn it on when the time is right. And they saw a time, they saw and they brought in a lot of volume. Why I talk about this and why I'm, you know, going on and on about this is that basically BNB, BSC took over Solana as the highest volume trading. Not meme coins, mind you. Meme coin volume is still heavily weighted on Solana side. I actually checked it just before the call. I did a 30-day. I checked the 30-day meme coin volume, and that's just like of the top meme coins on the chain. And if you look, Solana's still got about 75% of the overall meme coin volume. You know, talking about the top meme coins, you know, the top 10 or whatever, on that chain. And that's a good measure of like where the meme coin volume is. So when we're talking volume, Solana is still, you know, heavily weighted, but BNB is now second, where Ethereum was previously. BNB is now second, and Ethereum is well below that. And then you have Base, who is catching up to Ethereum as well. Um, Ethereum right now, and this I'm going to go into a little bit more into the stream is thinking wise, thinking wise of the team, of the direction for Shiro, like Ethereum meme coin volume, volume trading, like is right now near all-time lows. And that's wild to say, right? Like I'm saying that while we're talking about Bitcoin hitting all-time highs and Ethereum itself, right? The coin, the value of Ethereum is going up, and yet the trading on the chain is near all-time low. That's wild, right? And you're talking, almost all the volume there is on new pairs and a couple of the top pairs, right? I just looked at Pepe even, which is one of the top Ethereum meme coins. Their total volume for the day on Ethereum is 1.2 million. That's insane. That's insane, right? Like that's insanely low, and I can't even explain how important it is to recognize that when we're looking at Shiro right now, because Shiro is on Ethereum, right? And we're looking at Ethereum at all-time lows in volume. We're looking at Ethereum being our home chain. And we're looking at where volume is going. We're looking at what's happening. And right now, if you're looking at, meme coins on Ethereum, like the best you're looking at is hold with slow growth, right? Because there's no volume there. There's no traders there. There's no people on there trading. So what you're looking at is people that believe that Ethereum is going to come back as a mainstay, which we do. I do. Like I still believe Ethereum is going to have a place and a huge run during this run. And people that are looking for long-term projects to continue to build through this slower time. And it's weird to say that it's a slower time because things are at all-time high and max euphoria, and people are like, why isn't it happening? Why is this not going? And that's why, right? Like when we're looking at it, if you go on to Telegram, right? Or not Telegram. Yeah. If you go on to Telegram or you go on to Twitter and you look at what people are talking about, no one's talking about Ethereum right now. No one is talking about Ethereum. No one is calling Ethereum. No one is saying, hey, this is Ethereum, unless they're saying, hey, here's a project where you should park your money. And I think that over the next quarter, you're going to have really good returns on these long-term projects. And I've seen that. I have seen people say, like, this is the time to invest in these projects, right? This is the time where, I think that it's a good time to really look at Pepe and look at the opportunity there, right? Like, I think that, looking at MOG and looking at these long-term Ethereum projects that are way, way, way down, and I'm talking down, right? Like they're 70% down from all-time highs, 90% down from all-time highs, and they're sitting there, but they're still building, they're still growing, and I can't even say building for like MOG or Pepe, right? They're not building, they're just long-term projects that I think have a good opportunity to come back, right? And so what you're seeing is big money accumulating these coins, but they're not trading them, right? And that's a very important thing to really state, right? Why is there low volume? Because these coins aren't being traded very much, right? They're being accumulated. People are buying, people are selling, people are selling out, but in the most part, they're not trading it because it's low volume, right? And when there's low volume, you don't see people buying in, trading, doing the day trading, doing the, oh, I'm going to buy Pepe and then I'm going to sell it in 2 hours for a 10% profit because it's not moving that much, right? But this is a time where people are finding those projects that they believe in and accumulating. And that is why we have in Shiro huge wallets accumulating Shiro, right? Because we're building, we're growing, we're doing things with the mindset of not today, not tomorrow, months from now, years from now, right? Like this is a project where the mindset is not for today. And that is why, and I'm talking about some comments that were made today, but that is why the team is not focused on price. This is why looking at daily price is not really something anyone should be doing unless you're thinking about selling, which is fine, right? If you're thinking, okay, I need to sell this, like I get it. You're focusing on daily price and daily price action and weekly price action, right? But if you're looking at what's happening and looking at the general market and looking at all the other projects on Ethereum, and you're saying, what is happening? People are accumulating. People are accumulating during low volume times. This isn't a time where you can market. You can't market it. You can't market a low volume chain with nothing happening. And so you have to be patient. You have to recognize there is a time to do things. There is a time to push hard, and there's a time to really set your goals, set your sights, and to continue to build a community, continue to build a brand, and to work together. And Shiro's community is nonstop working. I see it every single day. I see people show up and work every single day. And I'm talking team, I'm talking community, I'm talking, our Fat Cat group, I'm talking our raid groups. Like every day, people show up and work for Shiro. And they've done it through pullbacks of 99%, and they still show up every single day and work their butts off. And that is how I know that Shiro has our best days ahead of us. That's how I know, right? It's because of you guys. It's because you're here. You show up. You're listening to me right now. You're watching. You're rating. You're showing up to trivias. And I'm telling you, tell me a meme coin that has done more for its community in the last 10 months. And if you have one, like, please tell me, right? Like, because Shiro is all about our community, all about giving back, all about building this brand out. And it's so, so important to recognize that when you're looking at that, the price, it will come, right? And it all comes with brand. It all comes with the accumulation. It all comes with watching wallets and seeing what people are doing. Because if you do, you'll recognize that, there are shifts happening, in a good way, even around these levels. And I feel like we've hit bottom so many times. And yes, I get it, right? Like, price is discouraging, right? No one ever thought we would be at these levels. I have to say, like, I never thought that we would see Shiro at these levels. But we are seeing people accumulating. We are still building. We're still building a brand. And now let me talk about what we're building, right? And what the mindset is for going forward. And I'm going to keep it pretty quick. I'm going to do this pretty quick because I always say this, but I'm going to keep this at about 40 minutes this time because the hour long, nobody wants to watch an hour long thing. I know. So I'm trying to keep this at about 40 minutes. But here's the mindset. Here is what we're doing, what we're building, and our plan for growth from here. Okay. So we are looking at Ethereum. We see that there's an opportunity to continue to build on Ethereum. that Ethereum has this group of holders that really believe in projects. There's big money on Ethereum that will invest in projects for long term. And that is what Shiro is about, right? And we're seeing it. We see that happening. We see this happening. And that's why you see projects like Pepe, projects like Mog blow up, right? Like they don't do it right away. Like SPX, right? Like SPX. I know, some people that were in SPX from 5 million on and talking about SPX every single day, constantly working for their bag and constantly growing this brand. And it took months and months and months. And SPX is older than us, right? Like it's been around for about 2 years now. And Shiro's not even at a year, right? So the first year, SPX wasn't sitting at $1 billion market cap, right? Like it was 6 months in or more at like 5 million, right? And this is now one of the biggest projects in the world. And we're talking about, what can happen, right? We're talking about, what happens when you build a brand, when you build this community that believes in things. And I'm not saying it's going to happen with Shiro. I'm saying this is our mindset, right? Like this is our mindset of, yes, we're building a community. We're building people that are accumulating around this brand, around this community, around this team, and everyone's part of the team, right? And I think that, that is the mindset where you really build into what they call that cult coin, right? Is where everyone's part of the team. It's everyone's job to do their part to grow Shiro, right? Like I know with SPX, my friend who is now, multi-millionaire holding SPX still has not sold their bags. And one of the top holders is still going around every single day with stickers on her purse, and she's got stickers that she hands out at every place she goes, and basically takes pictures at lunch with SPX things, and like it's everyone's job to do that as a community. And that is when you really start to transcend from management, hey, management isn't marketing, management isn't doing this, to we're all part of this. We all have our pieces and things we can do, whether it be word of mouth, whether it be getting a sticker, whether it be, rating, or just, to whatever, right? Like everyone can do their piece. And I know this for a fact. When everyone does their piece, when everyone does their part, when we all believe in something, that is when everything turns. So the mindset, Ethereum, low volume right now. What is Shiro doing? Shiro is building a bridge. That bridge is going to Solana to start. We are going to branch that out further, even after that. And we're really excited about that. What is this going to do? It's going to bring in new holders. It's going to bring in a lot more volume. It's going to bring in opportunity for new DeFi capabilities. It's going to bring in all these new things. And yet Ethereum will still be our home chain. We're still going to have that central link to Ethereum for when Ethereum does come back. But we'll have things that we build on Solana. We'll have things that we'll build on other chains. And these other chains will give us new opportunities to new holders and new growth and new community. And in the end, you're bringing this melting pot of chains and people, and it really comes together to signify growth, right? And once you have that volume happening on Solana and other chains, and it also brings volume to Ethereum. And then all of a sudden, people are like, hey, why is Shiro having a lot more volume than other coins when they're on Ethereum? And then people on Ethereum are like, oh, I should probably get some of that because I see it's trading and there's a lot more things happening. that bridge is very, very close. I can say I've seen it. I've seen it work. I've seen it in action. The bridge is very, very close. There will be some announcements this month on this bridge. I can say that. I will not say a date. I will not say what's happening exactly, but there's a lot of bonuses being added to this bridge. There's going to be a new swap capability on Ethereum directly from our DApp. We have multiple projects already ready to join and list on our bridge, which will bring revenue into the coin, which will lead to more marketing and buybacks and burns. We're going to also be bridging supply over to other chains, which also thins out liquidity, thins out supply, which actually really, kind of, again, leads more and more to this bubble up and short squeeze. Not short squeeze, supply squeeze, supply shock. And there's a lot of opportunity that comes from this. I know the bridge right now is 3 months overdue. It's not something the team could control. It's not something we wanted. Will I say it's a bad thing? No, I don't think it's a bad thing, right? I think that when it happens, it's meant to happen. And we've seen the people sell off. We've seen, like what's happened to the market cap. There were a lot of people probably waiting for that to sell, right? And still will be, right? Like that's always going to be something you have to fight with. But will I say that 7/1 or July was the right timing to launch this bridge? I don't think so. And I think that the timing is getting closer and better every day that goes on. And I think that, this delay, while not in the team's hands, and there's a lot of things that we couldn't do about it, I think it's kind of meant to be. And we are still going to be the first chain link bridge to Solana. That says something, right? Like that says, hey, this isn't easy to do. This isn't easy to build, but we've seen what's happened with other bridges, with other bridge hacks, with other things, and know that this technology is safe and good and works well, and it's going to be heavily desired. And we are going to be one of the only projects that offer that right now, right? Yeah, you could hire a developer to work some months to get it to happen, like we did, or you could talk to Shiro, pay a little bit of money, list on our bridge, list on our DApp, be tradable through our DApp and accessible to all our users. This DApp is going to have its own aggregator where it automatically is going to have the opportunity to basically get you the most value for your dollar in buying. So what an aggregator does is it goes out and it looks at all the places that there's liquidity for Shiro, and when you buy, you'll get more Shiro for your dollar than if you went to just Uniswap, right? So that's what an aggregator does, is it basically shops your best price for you. And that's going to be available for other projects. We also are listing on other DeFi protocols, that are working, that are going to help, with these aggregators. There's a lot more things happening. There's some NFT capabilities being built out right now that are very close. And I did see a comment. It said win whale. So I think talking about that thumbnail of our protocols for our plushies, for our stuffed animal Shiros. So our stuffed animal Shiros, The whale ones are going to be coming soon. I believe that the whale ones are going to be at first accessible to only our fat cats, our whale group. But there are going to be opportunities to purchase these as well. And I think there's going to be a whole slew of different Shiro plushies that are going to come out. And I'm really excited about it. Really excited about it. We're going to have a whale. I know we're going to have a pilot. We're going to have a regular Shiro. I saw one with a Santa hat. There's going to be others. There's going to be a whole universe of Shiro plushies that are going to come out. And these things are, part of our branding build out. And I think that you're going to see, again, what Shiro is doing that's different. And it's so important to do things different, to not do everything just the same as everyone else. And, that's what we see with our charity drive. That's what we see with our plushies. That's what we see with our bridge and our DApps and building out things other meme coins are doing, right? I can name one. And that's Pudgy Penguins, right? Like they're doing that. But we're going to have NFTs. We're going to have plushies. We're going to have bridges to multiple chains. We're going to have DeFi apps. We're going to have all these different things. And it's so important to recognize that that's when you market, right? You don't market nothing. You don't market just a coin. When you're building, right? Like when you're building, you market around things you can sink your teeth into. You market around, hey, we have a bridge that we offer other projects, right? That's something we can market, and we can market and bring in revenue from these other projects. That's when you go onto Spaces and you talk about this bridge and what we offer other projects and these DeFi capabilities, and then all of a sudden you have other projects reaching out. And then once you get those other projects reaching out, their communities are hearing about Shiro. And when they list on our DApp and our bridge, they see Shiro. Shiro's on everything. And that's marketing, right? And when you have plushies and brands and you're selling plushies that offer revenue and opportunity, that's what you market, right? I'm marketing something that can bring something back to Shiro. That's something that builds our brand out. When you are growing and flourishing and you have volume, that's when you market. And so with what we want to do and what is building right now is something where it's all going to hit within a short time. It's going to be boom, 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 boom. It's lining up, and you don't want to do it before that, right? Like you want to line everything up. You want to have delivery after delivery. You want to have constant things going and really new community coming in. And then you're marketing around that, right? And so everything is being done with a mindset of tomorrow, not tomorrow, the next day, not tomorrow, the next day, right? Not this week, this month, not this month, next month, right? It's growing over time. And that is Shiro. It's all set, and every mental point is growing over time. And so it's not a focus on price today. It's not. And yeah, I get it, right? Like, you open up your phone and we were at 3 million yesterday, and I was like, dang, that's good, right? Like everything's going good. And you wake up and then it's at 2.7. And it's like, okay, well, we're down 10% from yesterday, but we raised 20% the day before, right? And it doesn't take very much to really move at this point. Yeah, we could do more buybacks. We've done hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars of buybacks into this project because we're focused on price and short-term price action. What do we have to show for that? Do we have anything to show for that? Not really, right? Because look at where we're at. But when you invest in things, when you invest in protocols, when you invest in branding, when you invest in things that are meaningful over time, you're going to have something much more sustainable and a real growth opportunity that can happen over time. And that's what Shiro's about, right? We've invested in Shiro's IP. We're investing in our charity network, which, again, we could buy back $10,000 and what? What do you get from that, right? Like $10,000 buyback. Or you can feed hundreds and hundreds of people. You can feed an orphanage and buy them toys and games for 6 months. You can feed an animal shelter for a year. You can sponsor charity NGO dinners and have all this stuff that comes from that. Or you have one buyback, right? Like, think about it, right? Like, if you really think about what that does for our community, for other communities, for our brand, for, like, how do you not see that and go, man, that's a really good investment for what we did? And yeah, I get it. Price action is not happening right in that time. But it's not about that time. It's not about that, right? It's about helping people, helping the brand, doing things outside of the box that really are going to make a difference. And that's why you invest in IP. That's why you invest in things that are going to grow over time. You know, that's why you invest in plushies or go to Miami and sponsor an event and have a real world thing where you talk on stage. That's why that's why we do weekly news and weekly updates and daily, weekly trivias and different games and community building. Like, all these things are set up to build out over time and make this an enjoyable place to be. And I think that we've done that. I think that this community has done that. I think you guys have made this an enjoyable place to be. And I think that we're really excited to continue to build around that and to build around this community and to grow. And I can tell you, our deliverables are close. They're coming. They're going to be exciting. There's going to be bridges and NFTs in Miami and plushies and a lot of things, right? Like, there's a lot of things being built. And they're going to be built with this mindset of continuing to grow the project over time and continuing to bring deliverables and things that are not going to necessarily just have short-term price action, but to really grow a brand. And that is the focus. That is what we're doing. That is, the constant mindset. That is why when, somebody says, oh, why is it down 6% today? And we're like, oh, I didn't even know it was down. That's why it's happening, right? Like, we're focused on the goal. And if we deliver the goal, price action will come. Price comes with delivery and, continuing to do these different things, continuing to build outside of the box, continuing to grow. And I think that we are on the right track for that. If you don't, then you don't have to be part of the project. And I'm saying this, honestly, like, if you log in every day and you're like, dang, the price is down. Oh, this team isn't doing anything. Oh, there's just nothing happening and I can't stand it. Then go somewhere else and find somewhere that does, right? Like, good luck. I can't say anything else, right? Like, but if you are logging in, you're like, hey, I have an idea. What about this? Hey, what about if we did this? Could we maybe do something like this? Or could I help in some way? That's what we want. that's what a community needs, right? Like that's what we as a group are here for. And I think we're here for each other. And I think that, while things are down and people get quieter and quieter when things are down, this is the time where really a community shows its strength. It's a time where things like trivia games and Muse and showing up to spaces and doing these things become most important. And, Shiro will stay relevant. We're going to stay pushing. We're going to continue driving. There is no quitting. And that I can say with full assurance. Price action, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that there will be marketing. There will be big marketing. There will be major pushes again. But you have to do it right. Otherwise, you're doing it into a right, and there's no reason to waste money into a silo when everything's limited, right? Money's limited, Shiro is limited, everything's limited. So you have to do it right. You have to do it with the right timing. You have to do it with the right mindset. You have to do it around something substantial. And we have those coming. And while we're waiting, we're doing some amazing things, right? We're giving back to community. We're giving back to other communities. We're doing charity projects. We're doing trivia. We're building things, around other projects. We had our video game with Teabag, and doing streams with them, and growing partnerships, and working with Dat, who released first comic streams, and there's some serious surprises we'll share with that, right? Like there's just so much to come. There's so much happening, and for those that don't see what's happening, you're just not paying attention, because it is happening. There's a lot happening, but yes, our major deliveries, they're coming, and we're excited about them. And when they do come, that's when the ball starts kind of rolling, I think, as far as price action. And until then, we accumulate, we take our opportunities when we have them, and we recognize that the market is what it is, right? It's going to do what it is, and we have to react to that. We have to adjust to that, and we have to be constantly paying attention. And if you can hear me talking, you can tell that we are constantly paying attention to the market. What's happening with the volumes, what's happening with the other chains, what's happening with, like, constantly focused on opportunity from that for Shiro. And that is not something that you can really take lightly, right? Like if you are listening, and again, I'm not even like the biggest expert on our team or in our community as far as all this goes, but we have some people that are really, really good at this market sentiment stuff and market trading and seeing when things are supposed to be done, and opportunity is there, and we are going to maximize on opportunity, every opportunity. So until then, we have a great community. We're building, we're accumulating, and we have a lot to accomplish. And I'm really excited to continue to be part of that. And I know that the whole team is, and I hope that you all in the community are as well, because we rely on you as much as you rely on us. You feed us, you give us energy, and really, give us a reason to continue to build and push and grow. And yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for showing up. Got 371 live listeners on a Sunday. Pretty good. In 9 minutes, Trivia in the Telegram. It's going to be a hot, heated one, I think. There's going to be a good competition. Come win some prizes in the trivia, and let's have fun as a community. Yeah, thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of Shiro, and we'll talk to you all soon.